months in the making, macOS X Tiger was the fifth major release of Apple's desktop and server operating system for the Macintosh. Back then, it had the longest development time in Apple's history, and there was expectation that it would improve macOS X's performance as it had become usual from Apple after the initial sluggish versions of macOS X like Cheetah and Puma. Now, you may be wondering, why am I making a video on such an old operating system? Is this another of those videos in which someone superficially rants on the basic features of the OS? Hey, my name is Paulo, and it just so happens I'm autistic. macOS X Tiger represents one of my first experiences with computers ever, bringing back all sorts of nostalgic memories. When I got my first computer back in 2006, it came with Linux, but no distro supported the built-in dial-up modem, so I had to run Windows. Windows, however, was boring. Everyone used it, and I never liked much what was popular, always gravitating towards the different. So I had this not so brilliant idea of trying themes for Windows. I had no clue Apple was a thing, really. For me, there were Windows and Linux, and that was it. Only thing is, I stumbled upon this piece of software I believe used to be called Flykite OS X. It was a Windows XP theme a la macOS X Tiger. Guys, when the theme was done installing and I rebooted the PC, I was met with this beautiful login screen. The spinning beach ball busy mouse cursor, the login sound similar to the blow sound in Mac's system preferences. It was love at first sight. I will never forget my reaction like, oh my goodness, what a beautiful system. Then I would go on searching about Apple and find out all about their computers and OS. They were right at the transition from PowerPC Macs to Intel Macs, so Hackintoshing was a thing already. And boy did I Hackintosh the hell out of my poor PC. If I remember it right, I started from the obscure iDeneb Tiger DVD. That became an instant hyperfocus of mine. I couldn't think of anything else, as it is typical of an autistic mind when it finds a worthy hyperfocus candidate. Time passed, and I've used literally every version of macOS ever since. Matter of fact, I'm running Monterey at the moment as my daily driver. But Tiger, well, Tiger has always had a special place in my heart. The aqua theme, the brushed metal windows, the blue watery buttons, the subtle stripes in specific places reminiscent of the Panther days. That will always bring back memories I'm very fond of. And that's precisely why I came up with this idea of finding a way to run Tiger in 2022, and even making a video sharing my experience. I bought this 2006 Mac Mini with a 1.66 GHz Core Duo processor, a model which originally shipped with the OS, and here I am. Now, is Tiger useful in 2022? I find that question funny because assuming you give a piece of software the content it was originally meant to work with, it'll continue to function as intended for as long as you have working hardware to run it. Like browsing the internet. Safari 4.1 is the last version of Apple's own browser to run on SOS. If you visit Wayback Machine's backups of old sites, or maybe set up a proxy to redirect typed addresses to their corresponding backups of the time, or maybe use Frontline's web search, then even web browsing is a possibility. Or mailing. Mail still works, at least for iCloud.com. You just input the IMAP and SMTP settings and you're good to go. Yahoo Mail refused to connect though, so I had to use Mozilla's Thunderbird version 3.1 to sync my main email account. And it keeps complaining about outdated or invalid certificates. When you try to use such an outdated operating system on this day and age, you start seeing a pattern. One that constantly reminds you, we have been living ever since 10.4 Tiger times on the internet age. We need the internet for almost anything these days, whether it's for work, school, personal stuff, or leisure. See iLife. You can't open iPhoto and order a book print of your favorite photos anymore. Not that that was ever a thing in countries other than the USA and European countries, I guess. You can't upload photos to MobileMe because the service has evolved into iCloud and they're totally incompatible. You can't use iWeb because Apple has discontinued the app itself, and MobileMe, which it apparently used as a platform for hosting your published pages, has gone. You can't edit projects on iMovie so you can post them to YouTube because you can't browse YouTube on Tiger as there's no compatible browser anymore. I mean, there is Firefox, but it was discontinued a year ago and issues on websites have already started to show. If you have a local library of songs, you can definitely use iTunes as a jukebox of sorts, a player or organizer, a CD ripper maybe, but iTunes Store isn't a thing anymore. You can't log in, let alone stream Apple Music songs. You keep dreaming. Address book, iCal, well, I've tried syncing them to iCloud via CalDAV, but while I had success syncing to Evolution, an Outlook of sorts for GNU Linux, Address Book and iCal seem to be too old to communicate with iCloud even through the supported CalDAV protocol, much like Mail can't sync via POP3 or IMAP or SMTP anymore. And what about offline media consumption? Well, if you download YouTube videos from another computer, MP4 format that is, not VP9, and watch them on VLC, well, for as long as you keep it down to 720p, 30 FPS, that's doable. You just got to keep in mind that video hardware acceleration didn't exist before Snow Leopard, and that was exclusively on Macs with the NVIDIA GeForce 9400 chipset. Macs that can run Tiger probably have a Core Duo or Core 2 Duo processor, and although more powerful than PowerPC G4s in some G5 configurations, they're not powerful enough to decode 1080p 60 FPS videos. I didn't mention online streaming like Netflix because it's obviously out of question. So in conclusion, Tiger is an OS that lives on in my memory and I'm very fond of it. Hence why I got this Mac Mini and intend to have a copy of Tiger to refresh my memory every now and then and miss the old days of its beautiful interface. I'm planning on an upgrade to a Core 2 T7600 at 2.33 GHz for this machine, and I may make another video reviewing Snow Leopard running on it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.